Hey everyone, Nubkeks here, and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm on our road to Grandmaster. It's been a few days since I played, and yeah, I had a bit of a recording session yesterday. I got to bring you a few of the games. It was hard, honestly, to find games from that recording session to bring you. I was very salty, very, very salty. I've discovered, in fact, I discovered it before, and then I forgot about it and fell into the exact same trap again. But around events, around tournaments, it becomes very dangerous to play Hero League, because what happens to me personally is I sit down, I watch these pro teams play a whole bunch, and you get really excited, right? You see all these cool moves, the new meta developing, new hero picks and everything, and you get really excited and you go into the game going like, yes, I'll play these, it's going to be fantastic. And you get in the mindset of like this, the sort of pro level, the coordinated team mindset. And of course that mindset is completely inappropriate for Hero League. So yeah, I was basically going into the games with this mindset of, oh yeah, let's pull off all these cool moves. I want to like really play Heroes of the Storm, really get good at it. After watching the tournament play, when in fact we're still in the whole like climbing out of diamond stage, where that's really not going to be the case. So yeah, definitely getting rather tilted and stuff in the games, was having a bit of a nasty time, and just had some very bad luck as well, in terms of the people we were matched with. Even today, I was playing today just casually on Ranked Draft with my buddy Roger, and my god, I think every single game we had someone called GG after every team fight we lost, and it was just like, oh my god. It's just been bad luck, a string of bad luck. But anyway, this is one of the games I decided to bring you guys. I think it's a pretty good game, and we're going to be playing Chen in this one, which is always exciting. And in fact, I think it's the first game in a long time I brought you. We're actually, well, we're still the team captain, but we are actually the first team picking, and we were actually first pick as well. I somewhat regretted it in hindsight, because it was cool to get to play Chen in this game, but I think all the games we played, I didn't get to play like an assassin once. It was all like supporting stuff, which is always depressing when you're losing the majority of the games. Yeah, anyway, so it would have been cool to play an assassin in this one just for the sake of variety. But oh well, Chen is still very cool. He's the top pick at the moment, so hopefully he'll be able to give you guys a pretty good insight into how to play Chen. I'm not the best player, definitely not the best player on Chen, not very experienced. You'll see me even kind of learning a few little bits and bobs about him as we go, but that's fine. I think it makes for a good video. But yeah, he's like a top hero at the moment in Hero League, no doubt about it. Very powerful as a sort of a solo lane warrior. Now that's important, as a solo lane warrior, not really as a solo warrior though. He doesn't. It's just that the meta at the moment, right, is that the CC tanks are the most impactful and powerful. You know, Muradin, Johanna, etc. Warriors with stuns. I mean, that's the norm, really. But Chen obviously doesn't bring anything like that. He brings a lot of dive. He brings a fair amount of damage. He's a bit like Illidan in a way. He's on the enemy team. So, yeah, you definitely would want him. Usually speaking, with another warrior. For example, right here, I mean, we should be picking Muradin and Malfurion, and we would have an absolutely excellent team. But I wasn't actually paying attention properly and didn't say. These guys were kind of chatting up a storm anyway. But yeah, I say take the Malf. Yeah, that's great. GOG, I think we were having a bit of banter about this as well. But GOG over here is saying, you know, maybe Muradin or Johanna, which definitely would have been better. I'm just being positive. I think that's important as well. But yeah, I'm saying, look, Asmodan, he's not the worst pick. Muradin would have been good, but I do like the Asmodan too. You know, when you get this is, I've had this in so many games recently, is just like some dude, they pick a hero you don't like, and they're instantly just flaming and raging and being nasty. And it's like, seriously, grow up a little bit. I mean, you'd expect more from Diamond 1 and Masters. So there's a lot of Masters players here as well. It's sort of the standard thing. You can see we're going to have a bit of banter. It's kind of slagging this off, doing a bit of a parody. But I mean, you can see what I mean. Like, this one's fairly Diamond 1 heavy, and there's a Diamond 3 guy as well. But yeah, it's like, very often at the moment, it's like, I'm team captain for Masters and stuff. So that's always annoying, right? It's always annoying. It's like, just want to get there already. Just get it done already. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So our team comp, it's not as good as it could have been. I think it would have been much better with the Muradin, who also would have helped shut down the Illidan. They're very much banked in on the Illidan, honestly. Would have brought nice lockdown, nice blow up. We have more than enough damage with Alarak and Li Ming. Now, Asmodan will bring some pretty good split pressure. He's pretty good on this map. He brings like nice lane pushing, nice poke damage at these shrines and stuff. And they will have a fairly difficult time sort of dealing with that. I mean, once they hit level 7 and they can spread out the Callous Embrace, sure, they can somewhat deal with it. But still, like, Tyranda's going to have a hard time keeping them alive, even with Tastar as well. So they'll be somewhat vulnerable to that. So yeah, I mean, their team comp isn't that great either. I've honestly really fallen off a lot the Illidan bandwagon. I'm really not liking Illidan at the moment. I think he's quite weak. Even saw that in BlizzCon yesterday. Like a couple of the Korean teams tried to pick Illidan, and I think they just got stomped in those games. They couldn't do it. I think it was, yeah, I think Ballistics tried it against Dignitas, and they just got absolutely annihilated. So it just doesn't work out too well. Good start to this game, though. We actually pick up first blood immediately. So, well played, everyone. Some fun. You can see having some fun in the chat. Bit of banter. Kind of trolling a little bit. I probably should have headed top myself, actually. So, a bit of a mistake from me. We actually have two very strong solo... Probably the two strongest solo laners in the game right now. Thrall is up there as well, but Alarak and Chen are just beastly in the solo lane. Now, we haven't actually seen many Alaraks actually doing the solo lane stuff, but we'll see how it goes. Now, level 1, I picked up Elusive Brawler. You can see I actually popped it right there. I think it gives you 2 seconds of avoiding all basic attacks, which is pretty useful. You can also use it to dodge towers. So that was something I worked out in this game. I was like, alright, cool. What sort of plays can I make against this Jaina, given that I'm able to dodge tower shots and stuff? That opens up another level of aggression. I never actually played him with this talent before. This was the first time. So I definitely won't use it to its max potential in this, but I will try to use it to a pretty good potential. Just doing some damage to Jaina. For example, right here, possibly could have popped it to dodge the minion wave. It's not a huge deal though, but you can see that there's very little Jaina can do to us. This is kind of the Chen way of solo laning, is you pop your abilities, then you just drink your brew and you channel loads of shields, wait for the cooldowns to come up, and then do it all again. It makes it very, very hard. You can see that Jaina's not really able to do too much. She can certainly catch us in the blizzard, or she can get like a little bit of damage off on us with that, but she's never going to be able to create too much pressure through the regen globe, and she has to be very scared herself because she just doesn't have as much natural health regen as I do, and she'll also have a difficult time collecting the regen globes off of the minion waves. That's pretty good frostball from her though, give her that one. I think at this level I pick up Ring of Fire. I do pick up Ring of Fire, which is going to give me this extra lane push. You can see it kind of like burning these minions. It actually does quite a lot of damage, Ring of Fire, in a fairly decent area. So it's just extra DPS to bring into the fight. Jaina does get 1 regen globe. Lucky her. And there you go. It's a, solo lane and Cursed Hollow. Relatively straightforward for most of the game. We would have, honestly, pretty good gank opportunities as well. So Jaina coming in, you can see we do a lot of damage to her. Should have popped that Elusive Brawler a little bit earlier, and we could maybe even kill her right there. But just not quite fully super confident with the Chen play. So I was talking about we would have good gank opportunities, and there we go. That would have been a pretty nice gank opportunity. Unfortunately, he did not hit the bush. He missed the bush, walked past it, and that makes that somewhat difficult. This should be a tribute for us secured pretty damn easily. And there you go, indeed it is. Looking to potentially catch ETC, but he does escape. The enemy team is getting a very strong push down the bottom. Honestly, I would really much prefer to see the Alarak taking the sort of the solo lane down there, and then having the Asmodan roam around. Asmodan actually gets picked off and killed, which is pretty bad. But yeah, you could have Asmodan like helping out multiple lanes with his abilities. This is a very good play by the enemy team. They're actually now, I would say, winning the game. Taking a fort out this early is a huge win for them. So well played by the enemy team for sure. Jumping over this wave, getting a bit of damage down on the Jaina. Gonna drink up, get some extra poke down on her, and then just hop over away on the wave. So that's damage down on her. I'll be able to heal up my damage, she won't be able to heal up hers. You can see the Ring of Fire. It just combos really well with what you're already doing with Chen. I'm going to pick up then the Fortifying Brew, I think it was called, at level 7, which is going to give us an instant burst of shields whenever we... again, being a little bit slow on popping that Elusive Brawler, by the way. Level 1 talent when we do jump in. We could have avoided a couple of turret shots right there, so definitely something I could improve myself, for sure. But yeah, it's going to give us instant shields and make our shields last a second longer as well. However, I think the lasting longer thing is bugged, but the instant shield is pretty damn good. Now, this is a mistake for me. I was thinking maybe I could interrupt them if they're not there. However, they were. And then that level 7 talent just about saves us. It was very, very, very close. But yeah, I knew I was going to die. Pop my D there just for that second to get that instant chunk of shields to survive. And we were honestly quite lucky. It was a good play, but also quite lucky. Well, actually, I would say it was a very bad play. This, you know, this sort of the greedy looking for an interrupt when honestly there's no way we could have interrupted the tribute take right there. Almost cost us our life. We played it well. Then in the escape, we played the escape well. Got a little bit lucky and walked away. So I know it might have looked like a good play in the sum total though. In the grand total it was a bad one. But oh well, what can you do? We're just getting some damage down this Tyrant. Jaina's got no mana, so we can afford to be pretty damn aggressive here in this lane. I would like to stop her going back, but it's going to be difficult. There we go, we actually stop her, and that was a pretty good use that time of our elusive brawler. Unfortunately, our teammates were there, but a little bit slow to come in, but that's okay. We did get some nice pressure down. I think we could have created more, but it's not the end of the world. You can see there Illidan is really churning through these mercs as well. He's playing that pretty... Oh, was that him? Yeah, I think it was him. Then he rotated around. So he's doing a pretty good job of that. I'm going to drink up here, jump on the Illidan. Illidan goes down. Li Ming is almost dead, but she does make it out alive. You can see those instant shields are absolutely doing work so far. I think Li Ming got picked off by an owl from Tyrande, actually, believe it or not. And now our Alarak's in a rough spot as well. Actually gets caught out by the wall right there. We're going to come in, just try zone these guys out to try keep him alive as much as possible, using the tankiness that we have as Chen. And yeah, we'll see exactly what we can do. The Azmodan is trying to sort of counter push some of these lanes. Not sure what exactly. We'll catch a look at his talents hopefully at some stage. Be interesting to see what he has picked up. But yeah, I think the Azmodan not been too effective so far, honestly. He does scale pretty well. Like, a level 10 is a pretty big thing for him. So we're getting some pretty good damage down this Tyrande. Do get caught by those, but it's okay. Go in, pop the elusive brawler, soak up a turret shot. You know, just catch her with the breath of fire. And then we're just going to back out. We're not looking to commit too much here. Actually, we're kind of big and fat, so we get caught by the edge of that stun. But it's not a huge deal. You can see we've got tons of health. Doesn't really bother. It's going to drink up our brew, and then we're going to run down bottom, checking if ETC does have his stage dive heroic, because he's going to be split push. He's not, though. He's actually gone for like a team fight ETC. That's actually good for the Azmodan later into the game. And our teammates just kick the ass of Illidan, so that's even more fantastic. But yeah, with ETC going for mosh pit, letting my teammates know, by the way, stage dive is the norm at the moment. But that's pretty good. It leaves far less heroes that they can dedicate to actually taking out him out, so that's pretty good. Unfortunately, our teammates do get completely blindsided by the Jaina. I think it's a big error. Well played by the Jaina, honestly, and a little bit slow in the reactions from the teammates, but it's understandable. What happened was she threw down the Blizzard and then the Ring of Frost. They tried to step out of the Blizzard, but ended up eating a Ring of Frost to the face. Now we're in a really tough spot. We don't have Brewmaster's Balance, right, which is the other level 7 option, which gives you move speed. If we had that, we could have escaped. Because we didn't, very difficult for us to actually get out of the fight. And honestly, it was just a fight well taken by the enemy team. Their Jaina really carried that fight for them. And a mistake from the Malfurion and the Alarak to... I think they were duo Q. But yeah, they got caught in the Ring of Frost. It's like you always want to dodge the Ring of Frost. I can't actually think of any situations where getting hit by the Ring of Frost is going to be worthwhile. Like, you'd have to dodge some really seriously hard-hitting things, because it hits you like a truck, and it roots you as well. So yeah, you really want to dodge that if possible. They both got hit by it and exploded. So, but like, again, understandable mistake because of this. Now this is kind of bad. We know they're probably going for the boss, and that we could probably contest this. But you can see the Jaina is even not here. But Malfurion is going down bottom. Alarak is slow. Again, I really strongly dislike the fact in this game. I really strongly dislike the fact that Malfurion and Alarak were soloing a Merc camp. It's like Alarak is so bad at killing Mercs. He just can't do it. He has no PvE damage. It's all about killing heroes. It's like, I appreciate that they want to get the Merc camps, but they could get the Merc camps with me or with Li Ming or with Azmodan. It's like... The Malfurion is good at doing it, sure, but going with the Alarak, it took so long. And then not rotating around to take out that boss, I think was a huge error. So we went in, and again, this is what I was talking about, was just the idea of how you ought to play the game, and then how people actually play the game in Hero League. It actually made me play badly in this. Like, that was a bad engagement by me, because I didn't look at the minimap properly. I was kind of trying to calculate everything, and I was just assuming that our teammates would actually be there, because of course they would be there. Why wouldn't they? You can see here I was pinging for help. I just wanted to try save the Malfurion who was being dived. So it's actually good. We actually got to kill down the Jaina. You can see the power of Storm, Earth, and Fire here. It's a pretty damn useful heroic. There's a lot of damage. It's very hard to actually dodge it. And yeah, I mean, as you can see, we got the Tron down to half health. There you go. We're jumping on top of her now with the Breath of Fire and the Keg Smash. And down she goes. Almost there we go. Get her down with the Q. Huge Q coming out from the Azmodan, actually hitting the... hitting Tastar. We finish off Tastar. However, Illidan does pick off our teammate down to the bottom. Li Ming goes down as well. So Illidan gets 2 kills in return. I'm trying to focus on him, but I miss my W because he does flip over the wall. It's a misplay from me. Gonna hit him with another Q. There we go. Unfortunately, he dashes away right there at last second. ETC comes in with the stun, and Illidan does walk away. However, we do pick up the curse, so that's something, even if Illidan does survive. But yeah, that fight, I think there's a couple of very unfortunate fights right there. Well, I know. I think it's like it was a mistake for them to take the Bruiser camp. I don't think they should have been taking it, or at least they started it off, and they should have then rotated away and just said, okay, look, yeah, they're gonna take the boss, even though we were down a talent here at the time, but the enemy team is gonna be weak because they're fighting the boss. We've got a good opportunity here to invade and to, you know, just contest them at this point and really wreck them. They didn't do that, and we lost. That's unfortunate. And then with the Malfurion going in, yeah, I mean, I think we played that team fight well. We got a couple of kills for our team. I don't know what happened to the rest. Didn't quite work out, obviously, because we lost a couple of heroes. And well played by their Illidan too, though, for picking up those kills. It's unfortunate that Li Ming has got the Wave of Force. She picked it up to counter the Mosh Pit, but it's very unfortunate that she actually has it. It's just not that good against any of the rest of them. Like, Disintegrate would be so much better, I think. So, yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like we've got enough interrupts to the Mosh Pit. I would have actually liked to see the Disintegrate in this game. Like, we've got Alarak, we've got Malfurion, Azmodan can't. Now, this is pretty bad. We keep going too far. I went in with the team and got picked off. That was definitely a mistake for me. Well, I don't know. It was kind of like a group mistake at the same time. It was a group mistake. But definitely I went too far, and Li Ming even dies in the end. But yeah, I went in to save the Li Ming. And yeah, I mean, it was too deep for me and getting picked off. You can see there, that's definitely a problem. If you notice the hero damage right there, you can see I'm kind of looking at this, kind of going, what's going on right here? I feel like this game isn't going anywhere near the way it should be going, considering the comps and the heroes we have. And as you can see, if you noticed it, I actually have as much hero damage as Li Ming, as much hero damage as Alarak, which really shouldn't happen. Chen does a lot of hero damage, for sure, no doubt about it, but they're like the probably two of the highest hero damage heroes in the entire game. Gul'dan's also very high as well. Vala can do it. Like, there's heroes that do a lot. Lunara, Vala, Raynor does a lot. But I mean, there's really no way that a Chen should be doing as much damage as Alarak or a Li Ming. It just shouldn't really happen. I think we are able to escape this. Yeah, it was pretty close, but we are able to make it out. Gonna grab this well, have our health come back up here. Starfall has gone down, so that's good that it's gone. This boss is going to get quite a chunk of keep damage, though. However, a pretty nice catch, or is it? ETC looks like he's going to escape. I do pop the Storm, Earth, and Fire, and I'm going in. Here we go. Going to get some of that nice damage down. Trying to sidestep the Ring of Frost. Do it a little bit clunkily. One of my dudes does get hit by it, so that's kind of a noob. But Jaina is now out of position. This is pretty fantastic. There you go. The Wave of Force, actually, from the Li Ming, helping Jaina escape, but she does go down in the end. That's pretty nice. You go, the boss is actually going to die, so just going to redirect. Enemy boss respawning in 10 seconds. Oh, sorry, not 10 seconds, 15 seconds, I suppose. Now it's probably about 10. But yeah, we could definitely go pick that off. They've got 2 heroes down. In fact, they're the 2 damage dealers. They have very little damage left alive. We can definitely do this. So take the boss, deny the tribute, and that'll be pretty good. Definitely giving us an in back into this game. We are a level down. Our keep is very vulnerable. I'm pinging now, looking for a potential pick right here. There you go. I was thinking they might rotate around and try to do something aggressive. Catch the Tastar. Unfortunately, it is Tastar. He's able to shield out. Li Ming misses everything, so Tastar is going to escape. Nice damage from the Azmodan. Tastar, though, gets pulled back. And there you go. He goes very low, but he is going to make it out just about in the end. Good attempt by the team, I think. If it had been any other hero, I think they would have died. Tassar does make it out. We should be able to pick up this tribute. Now, we're going to miss the boss opportunity, so perhaps should have gone for that instead. But this gives us a very secure take on the tribute. Now the enemy team is rather out of position. The Tranda goes in deep and goes down. ETC looks like he should be going down as well, and down he goes. We're actually getting stuck, body blocked between the tree and the Asmodan. That is a triple kill for us. Now we can definitely take this boss, and hopefully one person can make it back. Looks like Asmodan's going to go back and protect that bottom from that push. Asmodan should be able to clear it out very effectively. Our teammates are coming around. Here they are. They have arrived, and very nice. This should be a safe boss for us. Should be pretty good. You see I'm tanking up way too many of these stuns though. Not doing that very well. Alarak's starting to get hit by the boss, but that's okay. As long as he doesn't get hit anymore. Malfurion should be healing him up pretty well. I try to stand this little nook to the side, but Chen too fat. Chen too fat. Chen gets taken down. Asmodan has protected the bottom wave. That's pretty nice. And there you go. Equal now in terms of experience. We've had a couple of good fights. And things are looking pretty good. We got a boss pushing in. I'm just looking here for any picks or anyone who might be rotating poorly. Unfortunately, no one is. That's okay. Just gonna start depleting the tower. Ammunition here. Get it. That sort of pushing in advance. Now, we do spot that Illidan is diving on the Asmodan. So Asmodan not rotating that well. Getting caught a bit out of position. We are rotating around to try to deal with him. Our allies, we all back off. We get stuck behind the Asmodan. Goddamn big fat Asmodan. We're not able to use our mount, and Illidan can just walk away. That's unfortunate. So the boss does get a little bit of value, but not too much. I think someone's saying, yeah, so the Alarak isn't happy with how that went down. It was, honestly, that was very good play by the Illidan. Very good play. Catching the Asmodan out in a vulnerable rotation, and then using that to basically bait us away. Doing just a little bit of damage to pressure the Asmodan so that we had to go help him. And then just running away. Really well played by the Illidan. That was a very smart move. Don't know if it was intentional. He might have just been looking for a kill and gone, oh shit, they're coming, and ran away. But let's pretend, though, that it was on purpose. If it was, that's pretty damn good. Pretty damn slick. And it did prevent us from getting too much value off the boss. I mean, we still got the front wall down. We still denied the enemy team their boss. So that stuff is pretty good, all things considered. Now we're looking at taking the siege camp. Have that camp pushing in on the open keep for the duration of this. Going to pick up Elemental Conduit. Oh, by the way, I picked up the 2 Flying Kick talents at level 13 and 16, giving it extra range, making it apply slow, just to help lock down this enemy team, which is quite a mobile enemy team. See that Illidan actually pops Metamorphosis, so this is huge. We know that's going to be down for the next fight. He wants to pop it. He obviously picked a level 20, so it will be permanently up. But look at this. We know they're going for the siege cap. Going to take this vision. We could potentially catch him out of position here. This is going to be huge. We see the ETC is here, and then only the Illidan. The rest of the team are actually in the mid lane, so this is ginormous. We've got a choke point to the north that we can catch him out in. Going in on the ETC. Li Ming's actually focusing the Illidan, though. It's a huge mistake. She gets caught in that. The whole enemy team is there. I'm going to show you a replay of this team fight, because there we go. Boom, boom, boom. Everyone is dead. That's going to be a full team wipe. And guys, that is going to be game. You can see there's going to be discussion here. But we're going to go and do a replay of this at like half speed. I'm going to show you guys exactly what's going on. That's like a really interesting thing. You can see myself and Malfurion are having this huge argument. We have a huge argument, and this is the sort of stuff that tilts me as well. But anyway. Drinking a sip of tea. That is going to be game, by the way, so I mean the Li Ming was saying maybe GG. That's like definitely a GG, but yeah, the ETC was the one who was out of position. I'm saying, oh, never mind. I just like, there's just no point in explaining this stuff. So anyway, like, he's blaming me. Like, this stuff, like, you can see I'm getting angry. This stuff, it just really tilts me. That shit really tilts me. It's like, I know that was a good fight that we could take. They were out of position. And then, like, for him to turn around and start be like, no, you're wrong. That stuff, like, that just drives me off the wall. It's a weakness in my personality. I cannot deal with people doing bad shot calls or then criticizing someone for bad shot calls or on strategy when the strategy is actually good. But I mean, as you can see, again, looking at the hero damage numbers, they're pretty dodgy from our damage dealers. They should be a lot higher than they actually are. You can see Boulder Flavor, Pressure Point, Flying Leap, Elemental Conduit. That's what they're called. You didn't actually get to see Elemental Conduit in action because we did get interrupted during that team fight. However, let's bring that one back up. Let's take a little bit of a look and yeah, break it down and show you guys exactly what went wrong and why that team fight should have gone right, and also sort of redeem myself for kind of flaming, I guess you might say. Alright everyone, here we are. We're coming back into this final team fight. I think this is really worth doing a breakdown. As you can see, looking at the game, everyone is level 20. You've all hit level 20. We've got Siege Camp pushing up top. Both teams are on Curse Point. However, Illidan, that's the first big thing. Illidan has popped his Metamorphosis, so that's not going to be available for the team fight. That's one of their heroics that is just down. So this is a really good opportunity to push in and to try to take him out. We see that they're going for the Siege Camp, and this is huge. People always overextend trying to pick up Siege Camps in the game. It's definitely something you can exploit, and that's something I'm looking to do. Gotta actually focus on the vision, letting them know that the Siege Camp is possibly where they are. We're going to take out this vision. Could the whole enemy team be here? No, they're not. We see ETCs here, and probably then just Illidan. I'm going to go scout out the Illidan. Being very cautious, you can see him backing away. We see the rest of the team, they're actually in middle, so it's Tassadar. Let's actually pause it right here. Okay, let's throw in a pause, alright? This is so crucial, right? In fact, let's rewind it slightly to the start of this. Okay, so here we are. I think this is like the key moment in the fight. This is like when we know that we can engage and we can win. If you think about it, in terms of our damage, we have Alarak, we've got Li Ming, we have an Azmodan as well. We've got a ton of burst damage, a ton of explosive damage, and Chen too, who, again, as you saw, does quite a lot of damage. At this point, we've seen that ETC is like here in the middle. You see, basically, this is all going to be fought really around this sort of banana-shaped run, right? From the mid lane, we've got this little choke point to get in, and this sort of banana-shaped run down to the Siege Camp. We're coming in from the bottom left, through this division, and then through the left-hand path right there. Malfurion is up. He's at the entrance of that choke point. You can see in the mid lane that the Tassadar and the Tyrande are actually both out in the middle of the mid lane. At this point, we know that ETC is kind of stuck in the middle of this banana-shaped path. Illidan is on the Siege Camp, and he does not have Metamorphosis. And then the two support heroes are up to the north. At this, we also suspect that Jaina is up to the north, though we don't actually know this yet. But this is how the fight should go down. This is why I engaged it so hard. And I'll explain a couple of the things that went wrong as we go into it. But basically, we know they're out of position. And you can see that the person who's out of position here, like I said at the end of the game, is not it's ETC, right? So the teammates were completely wrong about that. Unfortunately, I kind of made a mistake with my ping. I should have pinged on the ETC instead of the Illidan, and that did not help. But Illidan is very difficult to kill usually. Without Metamorphosis, sure, he's kind of easier to kill. ETC is also actually relatively squishy. And like I said, we have an Alarak, we've got a Li Ming and an Azmodan and a Chen. We should have more than enough damage to actually blow them up. One of the key things is the Malfurion. He made a huge mistake. Instead of coming through that choke point and taking control of that choke point, when we see that the enemy team's out of position, he could have been coming in here. Instead of doing that, he backs off and runs the whole long way around. By the time he actually gets there, the fight is over. Seeing that and knowing that the enemy team was going back down the mid lane, and then suspecting, like I said, this is a thing that people do all the time, right? All the time. You even saw it earlier, right? With the Malfurion and the Alarak going for the Siege Camp. They take Siege Camps very badly, Merc Camps very badly, and they often go for them and leave themselves out of position. There's a very high chance that they have left themselves out of position on this, and sure, they know that we're coming, but they're going to be so far out of position, they're not actually going to be able to protect themselves from it. What should happen is that we dive in on the ETC, we blow up ETC, sure, Illidan comes in, but we can deal with the Illidan. Malfurion comes through this path to the north. He can put his roots down in that path and completely zone out basically 3 members of the enemy team. Then we have the Twilight Dream there to interrupt the ETC and stuff like that. So I make the mistake, I definitely make a mistake here of like pinging. I'm basically pinging like, come help, come fight at this Siege Camp. Let's do it. Should have pinged on the ETC instead of the Illidan, because obviously the ETC is the much more killable target. But Li Ming goes deep for the Illidan. She actually misses her stuff as well, then gets caught in the mosh pit. If I pinged on the ETC, possibly she would have gone the ETC instead. And then by going on ETC, we could have killed him pretty easily and taken him out. Now, of course, I think there's just several misplays, honestly, coming through this fight. So if we play it again, you see coming in here, there's the Illidan. So that's the misplay, pinging on the Illidan. Should not have done that. But you can see I'm going on the ETC. The ETC is the one who's caught out of position. And you can see the enemy team, they're able to rotate down through this mid lane, through this banana-shaped thing. Here they are, they're all arriving. Tyrande comes in, Tassadar's in, Jaina's already in there as well. We all get caught in the mosh pit, and there you go. That's just us wiped out. Malfurion eventually arrives, but it's way too late. So, yeah, I mean, that's the shit that really tilts me, right? Is that the Malfurion just going nuts, and yeah, basically, there's a huge misplay from him, I think, more so than anything. It was certainly a risky move, but it was worth taking that risky move to basically easily win the game. We had the heroics advantage. We should have been able to pull that off. But yeah, I think that's so interesting, right? That if the Malfurion had come in, like, sure, he might get stunned by ETC, but who cares? He should be fine, right? It's not going to be a problem. We're all there. The enemy team is out of position. They're completely split up and their attention is split. Could have come in through that choke point, zone them out in the choke point with the roots. Our heroes should have gone on the ETC. They went on the Illidan instead. That was a big issue. Definitely my fault for pinging on the Illidan instead of pinging on the ETC. I mean, people should know not to do that, to focus the ETC instead of the Illidan, to kill Illidan usually last, depending on what sort of composition you have, but oh well. I thought it was a really interesting team fight, and that basically, just 5-man Y for nothing, cost us the game. I would say the biggest issue is just the Malfurion backing off instead of coming through the choke point and owning it. I don't think he took Bolt to the Storm, which was why he's probably being scared. But yeah, I mean, it was bad. So that stuff, that's shit, Joe. That tilts me so much, you know? I find that really difficult to deal with when it's like, no, I know we could have got this. We could have like made a big play and won the game, but because people they don't, you see, like I saw that the Chen, not the Chen, I saw that the ETC and the Illidan were out of position. I saw that we could have jumped in and blown up ETC and won the game, but no one else saw that, right? No one else really saw that. I pinged it in advance as well, but no one saw that opportunity coming, and then because I went for that, for what I saw, because they didn't see it and then they acted incorrectly around that, it ended up actually being a really bad call and costing us the game. Mostly because the Malfurion didn't see the opportunity to own the choke point, and then the damage dealers didn't see the opportunity to blow up the ETC. They went for the Illidan instead. I think we could have won the game very easily. It was very close. I think it was really interesting. And there you go. That was a kind of a bit of a team fight breakdown, but definitely sort of sums up as well some of the frustrations I was having when I was playing these games yesterday. Was that I was seeing stuff I want to go, because that's the sort of thing that like the pro players would have instantly capitalized on. They would instantly be in there and blown it up, like no hesitation. And like you're going into it with that mindset and that motivation and that like take on the game, and of course that's completely inappropriate to the actual meta of what it means to be playing Hero League while you're in Diamond 1. That just doesn't work. And it cost us basically the game. We might have won, honestly, if we just backed off and played it slow. I don't know, it's hard to say, but Illidan and Metamorphosis down, they're out of position. That was the moment to go for it. We should have. But is it appropriate for Diamond 1? I don't know. Probably not. Or Masters. They were Masters. I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter too much. Anyway, thank you guys for watching so much. I'll see you all next time for more Heroes of the Storm. So stay tuned for that. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.